Most roofs here in Sydney have valleys on them. And in this video, we'll just go through some things that you should know about roof valleys. Not in great detail, just a brief outline about roof valleys and what you should be aware of. Right, this is a roof valley, and what happens when it rains is that water will fill up. And as you get more rain, water goes across there. You get more rain, water is able to go across, and then it goes into your roof. That's a situation you don't want. So what actually causes that? Now, the first thing is slope. The code says that if this valley is laid at less than 12.5 degrees, well, you can't have a valley. You should have a box gutter, which means that the sides are higher and you don't get that overflow situation. So if you've got a roof and it's reasonably flat, less than 12.5 degrees, there's a valley in it, potentially you've got problems. One, it doesn't comply with the code, but more importantly, it can leak. So if you've got a low profile roof with a valley in it and you're wondering why it's leaking, then now you know why. Now the second thing you need to know is with a valley, you'll have a tile or something that goes into the valley, and it's probably going to end about there. Right? So you've got something on both sides of the valley. So what happens is that water runs down the valley, but if you've got any blockage in here whatsoever, then that prevents the water from flowing properly, and you get that effect and potentially another leak. So don't let your valleys get clogged up, because that will force a leak into your roof. But with leaves, that's not all, because these leaves are easy to spot and easy to clean. But very often you get leaves that run in and they get caught in this area. And what happens then is that the water will hit those leaves and dam up and potentially build up, and you'll get a leak. So when you clean your valleys, you're also going to get the tiles lifted up and clean any debris under the tiles. Now some homeowners report that roofers have come up and they've recommended putting in a foam under the tiles. Definitely not recommended, because the foam will deteriorate, and what happens is that the foam will then drift down and it'll come down into the valley, it'll block the valley up, and then it's going to be a situation where you get blockage and you get water leakage. So definitely no foam underneath. The other thing that some homeowners ask is, should the tiles be bedded? Should that be concreted in? And we've seen some of these situations happen because they think that if you concrete it in, then the water can't physically get in. But that's an impossible situation, because what you have is you've got water coming in at the water courses. There's always going to be water coming into there, right? And potentially you will block the water, and if the water can't come back out again, you'll get water build up and you get a leak there. Not only that, the bedding is quite corrosive. So if you have bedding that's in contact with metal, over time, with moisture in that zone, this will become a rust zone, and this will rust out, and you'll have a failure point. So you should not need to bed your valleys. And people think that if a valley is on a low pitch, you should bed it, but that's not the solution. If your valley is on a low pitch, you shouldn't really have a valley. So there should be no bedding under the valleys. And the last thing I just want to cover with valleys is that some roofers prefer to leave the sarking long into the valleys. So sarking comes up here and they leave the sarking dangling out. It's really bad practice, and it's not really recommended by the code, because the code says sarking should be cut right there, because this sarking has the potential of dragging water back up and causing a leak into your cavity. So no sarking into your valley. Sarking should terminate on the edge of the valley like so. So there you are. A few things about valleys you should be aware of. And then we'll have other videos which details all the different situations. This is a video that gives you a broad scope about valleys. And if you want any more detail, we've got other videos for you.